What you're about to experience are my opinions and truths. I'm suggesting they're possibilities for you to consider, in which you can then come up with your own logical conclusions. And hello everyone, welcome once again. My name is Logan and this is Decode Your Reality. Today I'm doing one on the noun religion, the title. The word a lot of people use in today's society, religion. Religion. This is Religion Decoded. It's not the same anymore. We're not in the age of Pisces. We're in the age of Aquarius. That means that no stone will be left unturned in this age. You will have the eyes to see. This is Religion Decoded. So my methods of decoding, ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, I use numerology, which is the decoding of letters or words into numbers, which is the opposite of gematria. And I primarily use the Chaldean. I also use the periodic table, the elements of the periodic table, the international periodic table. I've said this so many times before, if you're not using this to do decoding, you're missing an integral part. Each aspect of the numbers you get, the outcomes, the 43 becomes an element on the periodic table. 43 matches up with technetium, the 43rd element. That's how many protons it has. Then these all have atomic weights. I call them the personalities of these elements. And you can link those together. I also use the digits of pi. You can type in any number in here, like the 70th digit ends up appearing at the 96th decimal digit of pi, the 70, if you know anything about the 70. You can measure it using this right here. You can go 70 decimal digits out, and then you can take all these and add them up, and it gives you an outcome, and you'll find some significance there as well. And then last but not least, we use the tarot because we need to get a photograph or a visual, because we think in pictures, of what these numbers look like. Every card has a number associated with it, and these can be linked to the periodic table and numerology. So getting started in this, ladies and gentlemen, religion. Religion totally is the number 27. Kind of interesting because the word Jesus in septenary is the 27. But you'll notice I primarily use Chaldean just to try to create the foundation. And then, of course, my method again is to bring those numbers that we get through each letter and then link it to an element on the periodic table. So we have the 253, 13, 175, religion. That's how we say that. That's how we speak our spells. And we can measure that, and that's through helium, boron, lithium, hydrogen, nitrogen, boron. And then we always use the trusty calculator, add up these atomic weights right here at the bottom. And when we add those up, we get the number 56.072. Now this is a really interesting number because if we divide that, 56 divided by 72, you get 0.777. And if you haven't been to Las Vegas before, usually the jackpot on the slot machine is 777. Kind of interesting. And then keep in mind, last but not least, the word Satan equals 14. The word Jesus, his adversary, is the 18. And then 14 divided by 18 is 0.777. So we're talking about the 56 and the 72, and that's the element barium and the element hafnium. And then through numerology, those titles of these elements, barium and hafnium, is 46, just like that of Jesus and Lucifer. So then we go ahead and we start adding up these elements. Barium and hafnium, they end up breaking out to a 317.852 when we add up their most abundant atomic weights. 317, if you go to numberempire.com, 317, the number itself, it has a special aspect to it. It's the 66th prime number, one short of the 666. So this is important right here. Just keep in mind, our current president, Donald John Trump, equals 66. The vice president, Richard Michael Pence, equals 66. And the current Pope of the Vatican City, Jorge, his full birth name equals 66. For good reason, too, but that's for a different story. Barium and hafnium. Barium is a 16 through numerology. Hafnium is a 30. Then we bring the tarot. We want to get some photographs into this. What does it look like? What does the 16 and the 30 look like? Well, the 16th card is the Tower. The 30th card is the Seven of Wands. And really the big standout is this right here, because the Tower, Seven of Wands, which is what these cards are, ends up equaling the number 96. And, ladies and gentlemen, if you've been following my work, the 96 is related to the yin and yang. I mean, that is the yin and the yang symbol right there, is it not? It's the polar opposite of one another. And keep in mind, the 96 is related to Cancer in astrology. It's the 4th zodiac sign, and the 4th chakra is the heart chakra. So what do they want you to fall in love with? They want you to fall in love with that. Home is where the heart is. Religion is tied to the 96, which is tied to the heart chakra. I mean, make no mistake about it. That's exactly what's going on. Now, 4-6 numerology-wise is a 32, and this is really kind of a nice one right here. Jesus, Satan, which is the two adversaries in religion. Jesus fighting Satan, Satan fighting Jesus. That equals 32. So 46, which is tied to religion, ends up being Jesus, Satan, and again, Jesus, Lucifer. It doesn't matter. It's all the same thing, just packaged differently. Now, I've shown this before, and I want to show it again. The great beast that runs this matrix reality, or at least hijacked it. I don't know if it created it, but I definitely know it runs it and or hijacked it. It's the 96.096, and it's a double yin-yang. There's the yin-yang once, the yin-yang twice, and then, of course, the cosmic egg, the pi, the never-ending infinite amount of numbers stuck inside that cosmic egg, supporting it on the right side of the decimal. Here's the masculine, here's the feminine. That's what the decimal digit's for. And how do we get the 96.096? Well, we add up Jesus and Lucifer, the yin and the yang. Jesus is the yin feminine, Lucifer is the yang masculine. Jesus has the 15363, Lucifer has the 3631852 through alchemy. And these add up to 58.047, 38.049. When you add those up, you get the number 96.096. I've shown this before, but just want to reiterate that again because it's very important. Well, so then we go to the religion in Hebrew. Religion in Hebrew. If you haven't studied some numerology aspects of Hebrew and Greek, it's kind of important. Religion in Hebrew. Remember, Hebrew doesn't use vowels. You can actually decode not using vowels. It gives you completely different formats and outcomes. Pretty fascinating, to say the least. But religion in Hebrew, here it is. It's a 2-letter word. And it's a 4 and a 22. And that's beryllium and titanium through the alchemical elements. And then those add up through a Charcy calculator. 56.96. 56.96. That's what that adds up to. And, going back to religion through the Chaldean aspects, we end up with the same outcome on the masculine side, 56. It's kind of interesting. And then, of course, let's not forget, there's the 96 hanging around on the feminine side. And, Hebrew is older than English, or at least history tells us that. I don't know if that's true because I wasn't around 3,000 years ago, and neither was anybody else watching this. So this is really where it gets interesting, ladies and gentlemen. I have a graph here, a beautiful graph of, this would be considered Yaldabaoth, which is the Demiurge talked about in the Gnostic text, which kind of coincide with Christianity. And here's the triangle, and you have, Earth and the sun. Kind of interesting. And then, of course, the lion eating its own tail, or the snake eating its own tail. But again, religion is the 26. That's beryllium and titanium. And when you add those up, you get the 5696. Then we break those down in numerology. 5696, which is right there, ends up being the 54, which could tie to Xenon, the last element in the 5th level of the elements of the periodic table. But the interesting part about this, the 54, is we want to match this, like 29 and 25. 5-6. What matches the 5-6? Well, Yaldabaoth matches the 29, the 5-6. So does the word Godzilla. You think this is where they got Godzilla from? I would think so. Then you have the 9-6, of course, the adversary. I've shown this. It's the 25 which is right here. Black sun, parasite, all these words equal 25. So it matches that. We're talking about religion now, using alchemy and then adding it up through the digits here in the trusty calculator. Now, I've shown this before, but again, just to reiterate this, the 96.096, which is what I believe it runs this matrix reality, or at least hijacked it, through alchemy, the words 96096 equals the 71. Interestingly enough, on this, there are 7 common chakras, the root, which is the first, and the crown, which is the 7th. So it runs the gamma, 71. But 96 is the 25, 096 is the 46. We have adversary and then Jesus Lucifer. Kind of interesting. And then, we have 25 and we have 46, which is the 96096. And then when we use numerology with those, you get the number 69. Again, the yin and the yang again, matching up with what started it all in the very beginning, the 96.096. So to me, it's undeniable. I mean, it's crystal clear what's going on. Now, again, the 96096 is the 71. I have this placed here because I had shown this earlier that, numerology equals 34, but if you take the O out of God, which in Hebrew terms, they don't use vowels, it would just be the GD, you get 34. And why 34? Because, here's the 3rd and 4th chakra. The heart and then the second brain, because this is our gut instinct, those two. But in the tarot, it's the Empress and the Emperor, the King and Queen. That's the 34. The King and Queen on the chessboard, that's God. It's kind of interesting. And, the only element that carries the 96.096 in its atomic weight is the 43rd element, technetium. And that matches the GD or the DG. God, dog. It matches that. So do you see why I clipped it here? I put it there because the 96.096 is the atomic weight of technetium, the 43rd element, and then God without the vowel is 34, or dog without the vowel is a 43. And you can observe it that way because supposedly 2,000-3,000 years ago, they didn't use vowels. So there is significance to that observation. Now, technetium is, and I don't even know if I pronounced it right, but technetium, I don't know, but here's the Greek aspect. Now, if you go to the Royal Society of Chemistry, I'm going to backtrack here, and I'm going to show you guys, when you go to this website and you click on these elements, it's going to give you some nuggets. And you can decode these, you can go and study Greek and translate Greek and, meaning artificial. It's kind of interesting. 43 is from the Greek word tenektos, and it means artificial, which means not real. What does that mean? And then here's where you get your most abundant atomic weights from. Because this right here is your average. The 98 is the average atomic weight, but the most abundant atomic weight would be the 97.907 because your half-life would be 6.6 times 10 to the 6th years. But this is the only element that has the 96.096 as its atomic mass. This element right here. So it's really interesting. And this is where it gets even more interesting. And again, this is why I'm going to digress. I'm going to say our matrix reality, it's scripted. It's programmed. It was already written in the software before we got here. We're just utilizing what was written or spoken to make everything come true. That's what I believe anyway. So this element, which carries the only atomic weight of the 96.096, is derived from this Greek word right here, and this is the outcome that you get right here, the 118, and that has great significance. Keep in mind, the last element on the International Periodic Table is 118. There is no other known element, or at least they haven't shown us another known element, but it's the last one. And of course, the Bible says we're in the last days. Kind of interesting. Anyways, when you break this down through the Greek, and then you use alchemy, here's the elements matching up, the 19, the 5, the 22, 13, 7, 19, 15, 18, matching up right here. Go over to the trusty calculator. Here are all the atomic weights of these elements, their most abundant statutes, and that equals the number 248.086, and the 96th element is the one that carries the 248. Wow, what a coincidence, huh? What a really big coincidence now that we're faced with. Because the 96 is faced off with the 96. It's the atomic weight versus the protons. Different elements, connected nonetheless through alchemy. So there we go, 248. So then, when we bring these two elements together, this is the big takeaway here because, well, and you got to know what the 216 is right here, and I'm going to get to that. But these two elements are the only elements linked together by way of this 96 and the 248, which I just showed right here. Okay, through this word, through the Greek. And when you add up these two elements right here, you get the number 344.978, and through the digits of pi, ladies and gentlemen, the 344 occurs at position 216. And if you don't know what 216 is, I'd suggest you go do some research on 216 and the divine triangle, because 216 is right on top the White House in Washington, D.C. That's the divine triangle, the 345. So again, you got to ask yourself, if you know what this means, like, wow, okay, well, now I have the 96.096 and it's linked to the position 216 in the digits of pi. Kind of interesting. And then, these two elements, which are linked together through the 96, through numerology, they equal the number 64, which I've shown this, and that's why I have the big king behind here. You see it right there. It's the chessboard, 64 squares on a chessboard. And now we get into Gnosticism, and the Gnostics believe that there's a Demiurge running this matrix reality. Could it be the 96.096 through numbers? Is that what we're seeing? I'll let you be the judge, but Demiurge equals 30, and then when you break these letters down right here through alchemy, and then you add up these atomic weights through the trusty calculator, you get the number 64, and there's that 69 or 96 hanging around, and the 64 again matching up with the two elements that are linked up through 96. It's the 64, and again, the mirror of the 64 is the 46, Jesus Lucifer. The word Jehovah matches up with the word Demiurge, which again is the 64. And then, to make things even stronger, the 30 appears at the 64th decimal digit of pi. How convenient. Now, I think this is my last slide. Yeah, this is my last slide. 96.096, ladies and gentlemen. I just showed this. Technetium and curium. These two elements, they end up, when you use these atomic weights that we found, it equals 344.978. The 344 is the big standout. The 344, which through the tarot is the third card is the Empress, fourth card is the Emperor, fourth card is the Emperor. 344. Using numerology, Empress, Emperor, Emperor, yet again, adds up to the number 96. The yin and the yang, which matches up with that, which started it all from the very beginning. So, as I always say, what do you see? I know what I see. I know what it's saying loud and clear, what's running this matrix reality, or, like I said, at least hijacked it. It's this right here. It's Godzilla, Yaldabaoth, Jehovah, Yod He Vahe, YHVH. That's why I believe it all started through Hebrew. I mean, that's why they, in the Mecca, and, it's all the Yod, the 10, YHVH, the unspeakable name. Well, it's not unspeakable when you know what it is. It's right there. That's the unspeakable name of what people call God. 96.096 is two yin-yangs opposing one another with the cosmic egg bouncing out on the female side, giving birth. And this is the low form of it right there. Yeah, so, religion does have some great points to it when it comes to our matrix reality, because we all live in hell. We are in hell. And is this guy right here, this energy, Jesus, is this the Savior? Well, if you understand what he stands for love, and it's kind of the better way to live your life. You don't have to bring religion into it. The idea of Jesus, which is love and compassion and caring, that's how you win. So you don't have to be a follower of Christ, so to speak, to understand how the energy works. But that's how religion is. And that's where it's all tied to. So that's all I got for today. My name is Logan. This is Decoded Reality. I appreciate you watching.